Las Vegas used to be a miracle, a place born out of dust, neon, and nerve, where you could win big with pocket change, eat like royalty for $5, and maybe, even just maybe, get married to a stranger by a drunk Elvis at 3 a.m. It didn't make sense, and that's exactly why it worked. But something changed. The lights are still on, the streets still hum, and the billboards still promise the time of your life. And yet, if you look closer, past the sparkle, beyond the screens, you'll see something different. You'll feel it. That magic, it's gone. Vegas, the city that once sold dreams for dimes, now sells illusions at premium prices. What used to be a playground for everyone has become a well-oiled financial trap, engineered to take more than just your money. It takes your excitement, your spontaneity, your trust. People still come, sure, but they leave differently. No wild stories, no glitter in their eyes, just silence, regret, confusion. This isn't about one bad meal or a rigged slot machine. It's bigger, deeper. It's a transformation decades in the making, a shift from hospitality to hostility, from wonder to warfare. The kind where your wallet is the battlefield, and you're losing before you even check in. So what happened? In this video, we're going to expose it all. The hidden fees, the disappearing cheap eats, the smiling slot machines programmed to smile even as they bleed you dry, the way luxury turned into exclusion, and fun into a fine print nightmare. Welcome to modern-day Vegas. It looks like a dream, but feels like a trap. The cheap dream that crumbled. There was a time when you didn't need to be rich to feel rich in Vegas. A $20 bill could feed you, fuel you, and even flirt with your fate at a slot machine. Buffets lined the strip with all-you-can-eat crab legs for $9.99. Cocktail servers smiled as they handed you your third margarita, free, of course, because you were playing. Everyone played. That was the point. But that dream, the one where luxury flirted with affordability, is gone, vaporized, turned to dust under the weight of rising prices and corporate greed. And perhaps no symbol captured the soul of old Vegas better than Ocean One Bar and Grill. Tucked inside the Miracle Mile shops, Ocean One was more than just a cheap lunch spot. It was a legend. A full sit-down meal for $4.99. Yes, real food, real service, real joy. Locals swore by it. Tourists passed down its name like a sacred secret. And cocktails? Just $3 each. You could laugh, eat, drink, and walk out with change in your pocket. But in 2024, Ocean One closed. Not because of bad business, quite the opposite. The crowds were still there, the tables still full, but rent skyrocketed, food costs soared, Vegas got greedy, and Ocean One, it couldn't breathe under the pressure, so it died, not quietly but symbolically. Its death marked the end of an era. The end of a Vegas where the average Joe was still invited to the table. Today, the spots that have taken Ocean One's place are sleek, shiny, and soulless. Neon-lit food halls with $28 vegan burgers served on slate plates, Instagrammable but emotionally empty. Every bite is a reminder, you're not here to eat, you're here to spend. A basic meal now averages $30 to $50 before tax, tip, and drinks. Want a soda? Add $6. Fries? Another $8. Suddenly that $5 lunch has morphed into a $70 bill, and somehow you're still hungry. And the irony? It's not that the food is bad, it's just forgettable. Manufactured taste at designer prices. Vegas used to give you magic on a budget. Now it offers mediocrity in a golden wrapper. This didn't happen overnight. It happened quietly. One restaurant at a time. One menu flip at a time. Slowly, the places with heart were replaced by places with margins. And now, Vegas still feeds you, but not with food. It feeds on you. The cheap dream is dead, and its grave lies somewhere under the LED glow of a $19 salad. Fees and financial insults. You thought you booked a room for $99. That's what the ad said. That's what your confirmation email showed. But when you finally check out, your receipt reads $198.54. No, you didn't upgrade to a suite. You didn't order champagne. You didn't wreck the minibar. You simply got Vegased. Welcome to the world of phantom fees, a place where the price you see is never the price you pay. And the difference? It's not just a few bucks. It's engineered, systematic, downright insulting. Let's start with the infamous resort fee, Vegas's most notorious trick. This little add-on, buried in fine print and whispered like a dirty secret, can run you up to $50 per night. What does it cover? Wi-Fi you probably don't use, a pool that's often closed, gym access you won't need, and maybe, a 2-minute phone call to nowhere. And yes, they'll charge you the same whether the amenities are available or not. Pool closed for maintenance? Still charged. Wi-Fi down? Still charged. Didn't step outside your room? Still charged. It's like paying for a buffet while being told the kitchen's out of food. Then comes the early check-in fee, anywhere from $40 to $60, even if the room is already cleaned and empty. Vegas will gladly let the air conditioner run for hours before you arrive, but God forbid you enter 90 minutes before the official 3 p.m. time. Need a fork? That'll be $25 for premium metal utensils. Want to park your own car? Too bad. Self-parking's gone. It's valet or nothing. $40 per day, tip not included. These fees don't scream luxury. They whisper, gotcha. And the worst part? They're designed to be invisible. Hidden at the bottom of a booking page in size 8 font. Tucked behind a QR code on your room service menu. Disguised as service enhancements or mandatory convenience fees. It's not just expensive, it's offensive. Vegas used to dazzle with generosity. Now it nickel and dimes with a smirk. You're no longer a guest. You're a revenue stream. And every click, every swipe, every skipped detail is a chance for them to take more. This isn't an accident. It's a system. One built not to serve you, but to squeeze you. To make you feel like the fool who didn't read the fine print on the magic trick. And in a city built on illusion, this is the cruelest one of all. You're not paying for more. You're paying for less. And you're doing it with a smile until the bill hits. The house always wins more than ever. Casinos used to be a gamble. Now they're just math. And spoiler alert, you're the variable that always loses. Back in the day, Vegas was built on the thrill of maybe. Maybe you'd hit a jackpot. Maybe you'd beat the dealer. Maybe, just maybe, tonight was your night. The odds weren't great, but they weren't hopeless either. Today, those odds, they've been re-engineered, tweaked, tightened, monetized to the last decimal point. Let's start with the slots, the colorful, blinking, loud machines that line every square inch of the strip. They're not there for fun. They're there for harvesting. Slot machine hold rates, the percentage the house keeps from every dollar you put in, have quietly increased by over 24% on the strip between 2004 and 2024. In downtown Vegas, a staggering 45% increase. That means if you put in $100, the machine now keeps $10 plus on average, silently siphoning your joy with every spin. You wouldn't notice, because the lights flash, the sounds ring, the machine celebrates even when you lose. It's not gaming anymore, it's psychological warfare. And the table games? Don't get romantic. Blackjack, once the thinking gambler's game, has been nerfed. The classic 3-2 payout, where a $100 bet wins $150, is now replaced in many casinos with a 6-5 payout. That same $100 now nets you only $120. The win looks the same, feels the same, but Vegas just pickpocketed $30 right in front of you. Roulette used to be 2 versions, European, single zero, and American, double zero. But now meet the triple zero, a Frankenstein wheel designed to boost the house edge nearly 50%. It looks just like the old game, but it's not. It's a betrayal dressed in marble. Dealers used to be partners in the experience. They laughed with you, nodded when you hit 21, gave subtle hints and shared in your moments. Now, they're being replaced by screens, digital tables, automated shufflers, virtual dice. No more human touch, no more trust, just algorithms and cold, calculating silence. And here's the kicker. Vegas doesn't even try to hide it. Why would they? They've realized something brutal. People will play anyway, so they take more. Give less. Remove the illusion of fairness and replace it with a facade of flashing lights and pre-programmed dopamine hits. You think you're gambling? You're not. You're just part of a machine designed to ensure the house always wins, and you always lose. When the smile disappears. There was a time when you didn't need to flash a black card to be treated like royalty in Vegas. The magic wasn't just in the jackpots or the showgirls, it was in the people. The bellhop who called you boss, the dealer who gave you a wink before dealing that ace, the waitress who remembered your drink. Vegas had soul. Now, it has QR codes. In the race to cut costs and boost margins, Vegas has done the unthinkable. It fired the magic. Literally. Over the past few years, thousands of service workers, from front desk agents to table dealers, have been laid off. Many casinos now operate with no human reception. You don't check in, you scan. You don't ask questions, you troubleshoot. No warm welcome, no enjoy your stay. Just a screen, a beep, and the quiet hum of a server farm somewhere far away. At the tables, it's worse. Digital blackjack, robotic roulette, touchscreen craps. No dealer, no banter, no shared laugh when the table's hot. Just cold, sterile interfaces and synthetic voices looping through pre-recorded instructions. Place your bets now. Dealer has 20. Better luck next time. It feels less like Vegas, and more like being stuck inside a malfunctioning ATM. And the buffets? Once a hallmark of hospitality, where staff joked with guests and servers hustled to refill drinks, are now assembly lines of apathy. $100 per person, and maybe one server sprinting between tables, wiping spills and clearing plates like they're running a one-man relay race. Even tipping feels awkward now. Who are you thanking? The algorithm? The irony? Vegas didn't always run on cash. It ran on connection. A wink, a smile, a high five from the pit boss when you hit blackjack. These were moments that made losing $200 feel okay, because you felt seen. Now you're just a user ID in the system. Vegas believes automation is efficiency, but it forgot something crucial. Machines don't make memories, people do. And without that warmth, that spark, that unscripted human touch, Vegas loses the very thing that made it legendary. You can flood a room with LED lights. You can replace waiters with tablets. You can optimize every second of service. But if there's no soul behind the smile, it's just noise. And no one comes to Vegas for noise. When reality walks in. Vegas was never supposed to feel real. That was the point. It was an escape, a fantasy, a glimmering alternate universe where rent didn't exist, bosses didn't call, and your biggest worry was whether to double down on 11. The lights were too bright, the nights too long, and the drinks too cheap to remind you of real life. But now, real life is showing up. And it's not knocking, it's barging in. Over the past 3 years, homelessness in Las Vegas has surged by over 56%. That number isn't just in a city report. It's on the streets, in the parking lots, on the casino floors. You step outside your luxury hotel, and there it is. People curled up under blankets just beyond the marble entrance. Someone asking for food while you're headed to a $90 steak dinner. A man sleeping on a bench next to the valet stand where your $400 per night SUV just pulled up. And then it gets closer. Inside the casinos, near the slot machines, in the restrooms, more and more people with nowhere else to go. They approach with open palms, quiet voices, or just tired eyes that meet yours for 1 second too long. For some tourists, it's uncomfortable, not because they hate the poor, but because they came to forget. Not to be reminded. Vegas was supposed to be a dreamland, but now, it's cracked at the edges, and the reality bleeding through is jarring. This isn't about blame, it's about experience. When the line between escape and exposure gets blurred, the illusion collapses. Vegas sold itself as a controlled fantasy, a place where everything was curated, sanitized, perfect. Now, even inside the brightest casinos, that control is slipping. Long gone are the days when you could walk the strip and feel like you were in another world. Now, it feels like this world, just louder, more expensive, and a little sadder. Even the sacred gambling floors, once temples of distraction, are losing their edge. The chaos outside starts to echo inside. One awkward encounter, one tense moment, one visible sign of collapse, and suddenly the dream evaporates. And that's the true danger. Vegas is no longer untouchable. It's no longer immune. And when a place built entirely on fantasy starts to mirror the harshness of everyday life, it stops being special. Vegas isn't dying because it's dark. It's dying because it forgot how to hide the dark. And in a city built on distraction, that might be the most fatal mistake of all. The systematic trap. You'd think a city built on chaos would be a little chaotic. But Las Vegas isn't messy. It's precise. It runs like a Swiss watch, engineered, optimized, ruthless in its efficiency. And that's what makes it dangerous. See, Vegas doesn't need to trick you anymore. It just needs to let you be you. It's built on one core assumption. You'll pay anyway. Because that's what tourists do. They splurge. They forgive. They forget. And Vegas knows it. So instead of selling you better experiences, it sells the illusion of freedom, while quietly tightening the screws underneath. Everything is designed to extract more. Parking used to be free. Now it's $40 a day. Drink coupons used to be standard. Now you have to gamble a few $100s just to maybe get a watered-down cocktail. Food prices? Up nearly 49% in just a few years. A basic breakfast, coffee and a croissant, can run you $28. A bottle of water from the minibar? $26. That $10 margarita you loved? Now it's $50, and it tastes like regret. You'd expect that if prices go up, quality would follow. But it hasn't. The meals are fancier on the menu, not on the plate. The hotels are shinier, but the service is colder. The shows have more lights, but fewer surprises. It's not just inflation, it's intention. Because Vegas isn't adjusting to the economy, it's adjusting to your behavior. It watches, it learns, it monetizes, and worst of all, it trains you to accept it. They do it slowly. First they add a $5 fee, then $15, then $35. But they wrap it in lights, pour it over ice, and serve it with a wink. You laugh, you pay, you move on. Until one day, you realize you've dropped $1,200 in 3 days and have no idea how. And here's the genius. You were never supposed to. Vegas counts on your distraction, your dopamine, your vacation mindset. That's why it doesn't need to scam you. It just needs to design a system where you scam yourself. And it works. Brilliantly. So no, Vegas isn't broken. It's working exactly as intended. But that's the problem. Because when a city becomes a machine, and every gear is built to churn through your paycheck, you stop being a guest. You become fuel. The dream that locked you out. There was a time when Las Vegas belonged to everyone. You didn't need a black card or a trust fund. Just a suitcase, a sense of adventure, and maybe a few 20s tucked in your sock. Vegas made you feel larger than life, even if just for a weekend. But not anymore. Today, the doors to that dream are still open, technically. The lights still flash, the shows still sell out, the drinks still flow. But something's changed. The magic that once welcomed the everyday traveler, the broke college kid, the spontaneous road tripper, that magic has been replaced by velvet ropes, facial recognition, and price tags that sneer more than sparkle. Vegas didn't die. It evolved into something colder, slicker, less human. It's no longer a city that lifts you up. It's a city that weighs your wallet before it lets you in. And if you're not holding the right card, the right status, the right budget, you're not part of the show. You're the audience they hope will leave quietly. They'll let you window shop the fantasy, let you stand in line for overpriced food, let you scroll through the hotel app, trying to decipher which mysterious convenience fees are about to slap your credit card. But the real Vegas, the one with tailored experiences, surprise perks, and that old-school wink-and-nod charm, that's behind the curtain now. For the ultra-wealthy, Vegas still rolls out the red carpet. Private tables, secret entrances, Michelin dinners, exclusive everything. And for the rest of us, it's an overpriced selfie backdrop with good lighting and bad value. You're not living like the rich. You're just spending like a fool in a place that no longer cares if you ever come back. And maybe that's the saddest part. Vegas used to earn your loyalty. Now it just assumes your complacency. It bets that you won't notice, that you'll blame inflation, that you'll chalk it up to just how things are, that you'll come back anyway, because it's Vegas. But maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't. Because the only thing more dangerous than a dream that costs too much is a dream that forgets who it was meant for. Vegas didn't lose its magic overnight. We gave it away, one hidden fee at a time, one lowered expectation, one overpriced drink, one shrug, one whatever. But dreams don't have to die. They just need people brave enough to say, this isn't it anymore. Vegas still shines, but maybe it's time we stop mistaking that for light.